And wait for my little red dot up there in the top. We're probably live. This does this to me all the time. So I'm going to jump over in here to the group for 1 second and let me make sure it's popping up there. Yep, it's popping up. Okay, we're live, definitely. So I want to introduce Nciole Gates, and she's been hanging around with me for a little while, and she's got some success, I think, that she would like to share, or I'd like for her to share anyway. And just to recap a little bit with Nciole, she started with us, our membership, December 22nd, 2020, just as we were coming down out of COVID. And of course, California got locked down a little bit longer than the rest of the world.
You did.
But I remember you giving me a call and you saying you're starting from scratch. You had nothing because
Yeah.
California had shut you down months and months and months. You guys couldn't even do anything, right?
They shut us down completely for 3 weeks and
Yeah.
then called us essential
Okay,
because
good.
people obviously need a place to live. People are
Mhm.
still moving. But the hoops we had to jump through during this was astronomical.
Crazy.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what did you see then? Did you see something on the horizon? Did you see back then some of the changes that you probably have to make in your business? I feel like we all kind of did a little bit anyway. We all thought we had
Yeah.
to work remotely and we all started figuring out how to do things remotely.
Yeah. One of my gifts I think I have on certain areas is discernment. And I did see a little bit of what was going to happen, just like I was trying to forecast what's happening now in
Yeah,
today's market
yeah,
and allowing me to make the changes in my business that I needed to do in order to pivot.
yeah.
That was really, really important because we all know in this business, it's sink or swim. And
Yep.
we have a huge failure rate in business in general. And real estate is no exception. So, yeah.
That's the
Um,
truth.
yeah. So seeing what's coming down, listening to the experts, knowing who to ignore,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
making my decision. Okay, I'm choosing this path.
Hmm.
Um, and going all in.
And I think I remember us discussing back then that it was going to be pivotable to really tap into your sphere of influence
Hmm.
and really nurture that
Hmm.
pipeline. Is that
Yes.
something you feel like you had done previously in the past? Well,
Not well.
not well. Yeah, there we
Not
go.
well. Yeah, that was so not. I thought I was doing okay, but
Uh-huh.
I definitely was not doing it well. And I still have huge room for improvement,
Yes,
but I'm nailing it one piece at a time.
yes.
So that's made a big difference.
Yes. Now, let's start with the pillars that we work with, and
Okay.
these are some of the things that you've implemented since 2020
Hmm.
is some Facebook groups, and I
Hmm.
know you've got an awesome group with over 1,000 people now in it, so that
Yeah,
has really panned out for you, hasn't it?
yeah. I've got one group that has. I ended up doing multiple groups
Hmm.
just to see where my phrase lately is I throw spaghetti against the wall. Let's see what sticks. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So I did multiple groups and found one of those groups really took off. And
Yep.
so I'm in the process now of probably going to be sending invites of everybody in the other groups to join the one group, and then I'll be shutting down the other groups.
Yeah. Okay, good. And just so you know, if you do have a group that kind of died on the vine and you wish it would just go away, there is a way to get rid of a group.
Mhm.
I've had to answer this a few times for people. You literally have to get everyone else out of the group and be the last one,
Mhm.
and then just turn the lights out when you leave. As soon as you're the last one that leaves the group, it disappears. So that's
Yeah.
how that works. Okay. But hopefully your groups aren't dying on the vine. If you've got the right group and you've got the right content, that should absolutely be a great lead magnet, shouldn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right,
Yes.
then coming down our pipeline, once they're in your group, they're registering on your website, and then they're on your email list. And I know
Yeah.
that that's something that you've implemented as well, is
Hmm.
our particular email correspondence that we do. That
Yes.
is not a drip email campaign, is it?
No,
No,
I've never been comfortable with drip emails.
me
I
either.
wanted, because honestly, I know like you can join, like I've been with brokerages where they
Hmm.
actually have a platform and it's like, oh, here we send out this on day 1, this on day 2, this on day
Yeah.
5, this on day 10. I never go in and read them.
Right.
I want to know what exact, or I forget what's going out. I
Yes.
want to know exactly what's going out to my potential clients.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
One of my first coaches years ago said, nobody likes drip email campaigns.
And they know it's a drip email
Yeah.
campaign. They know
And
when, if you're getting a day 1, day 3, day 5, day 10, you know that's
oh
a
yeah,
drip email. That's an automatic
absolutely.
email with no personality, no
No
nothing.
personality, no change, no nothing personalized, nothing that creates reciprocity,
Hmm.
nothing that, really, once you've got a grip on that email, I think that's where your business is going to come from, is your
Yeah.
email list.
Yes.
That's where that nurtures. And then another layer that you've added on that I really don't touch on myself is Google, isn't it? You've plugged into some Google marketing, and
I
that's going well for you too, right?
I did. I did. In the last year, I had
Hmm.
some downtime.
Yeah,
And when I have downtime, I work on the back end of my business and I
yeah,
do research and I use
yeah.
YouTube and look at all the things. And one of the things I wanted to do is to become searchable.
Hmm.
98% of people search for businesses on Google, not Yelp, not Bing, not Yahoo,
Right.
not any of these other platforms. It's, I mean, if they're not going to their friends and family, especially for somebody in services, you think of somebody looking for a roofer, looking for a
Hmm.
mechanic, a plumber, an electrician, real estate, you're going to
Hmm.
usually go for your friends and ask, hey, who do you
Yeah,
recommend?
yeah. Friends
So,
don't let friends Google for real estate services, do they?
but friends don't let friends Google for real estate service except when they do.
Yeah,
And
but
if they
they
do,
don't
they
have
are
friends
going
if
to
they're
be on
Googling.
Google rather than any other platform. So I knew I wanted to focus on that one.
Google.
And it's
Good,
paid off because I
good,
worked on my SEO. I became Google verified. Um,
good.
and people have found me through Google. And
Hmm.
what's interesting is versus social media, the people who search you through Google are usually very serious.
Yeah.
They're looking for an agent specifically
Hmm.
because they're in need of services or information or something that we
Hmm.
can use to plug in.
Hmm. Yep. Now, and then another aspect we thought we talked about too that you felt like you were going to start to implement was your handwritten note correspondence again. And of course,
Yeah, I haven't
I
done
gotta
it.
praise you for that.
I need to.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's important part of the element. That's where the
yeah,
relationship gets. That's a solid relationship when you're
and I think
putting notes out there
yeah,
to
I
them.
think using that handwritten element, especially to stay connected
Hmm.
with past clients
Yeah,
and other clients who are really serious, to keep you in front of them in one way or another is,
yeah,
and it helps that referral, because
yeah,
even if that potential client hasn't plugged in yet, um, it's it can come down the pipeline, but they can still refer people because
oh yeah, oh
people
yeah,
ref- people refer people they like.
yeah,
And if they like you, even if they haven't had a chance to work with you, it can still turn into more potential
oh
clients.
yeah, absolutely. Because I'm a firm believer. People can fall off your social media. They can unsubscribe from your email. you know.
Mhm.
They can block your targeted ad if they really wanted to, but
Oh, absolutely.
nobody's gonna call you up and say, "Stop sending these cute cards to me."
Yes.
But it's very purposeful. It's very, very targeted. It's very purposeful for me anyway. I don't
Mhm.
put prospects in there. I don't put suspects in there.
Mm.
Those are former clients, family, friends, vendors, and referral sources. You
Yeah.
know, and that's it. That's a very solidified relationship at the bottom of the funnel there.
Yeah.
So that's worked out well for me too. I know I've gotten business out of sending cards, over the past, since 2015, I've been sending handwritten notes, or at least using the send out cards database.
Yeah.
I think I've been sending out cards since I was born.
Yeah.
Since I started my business, I found a whole box full of them old ones I used to use. I thought, oh God, thank God for technology, because I can't even imagine handwriting them anymore.
Oh, absolutely.
And then another thing that you toy with and that we dabble with is targeted ads, of course. You do
Mhm.
run some targeted ads as well, don't you?
Mhm. I do.
Good, good.
I need to get back to it. I don't have any running right now.
Hmm.
For me, when it came to targeted ads, though, the ones that really hit for
Hmm.
me
Hmm.
was ones that were lead generating. We're not looking for the sale right now. We're looking just to get their information. I
Yeah,
want local people
right.
who want to see beautiful homes in the area.
Hmm.
And my website allows them to see one home. After that, you gotta create an account.
Right.
So that
Uh-huh.
right there, I think has been I play the long game.
Yep.
This isn't the sale right now, but if you play the long game, it pays off.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah.
I think that's what a lot of agents misunderstand about Facebook marketing. It's not a Google platform. It's a
Mhm.
social platform,
Yeah,
so you have to, bring people into your world and just let them watch you,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely. And when you
and so that's when your consistency pays off. So when you're bringing them into your world, and eventually they're gonna, like a little spider, they're gonna land on your website, and the
yep,
curiosity is gonna get the best out of them, and then they're gonna come on down your world, and get in there and really form a relationship with you. So I think it's
absolutely.
definitely a different animal. It's a different process. It isn't
Mhm,
something that you necessarily just, you know, it's not a gadget. Real estate is not a gadget that you click
mhm.
on to purchase. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's your biggest investment most of the time that you're making in your life, or some people's lives. It's their biggest they'll ever make, and it's not done lightly, is it?
no, no, no.
All right. So what
Yeah.
else you got? What else you got going on? Anything?
Um,
Well, that's it, man. That's the six-figure system. And then just to
yeah,
clarify, for example, I remember at the end of 2021, after your first year, you called me and said, "I want to let you know I hit six figures." And I think you ended up having another good 2 years in a row, haven't you? So
yeah.
I think your
I've been
consistency is paying off.
consistently, yeah, I've been consistently at
Mhm.
six figures or very close to it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, very close to it. Ever since
Yeah.
my the systems make a difference.
Mhm.
It keeps me in front of people,
Mhm.
of my potential clients. It keeps me in front of my old clients. And then
Mhm.
it also puts me in front of in front of people that they're watching,
Yep.
even if they don't jump in,
Yeah.
even if they
Mhm.
don't sign up, even if we don't connect.
Mhm.
Um,
I say that all the time. They might not like your posts or engage with your posts, but they are watching you.
oh,
Make no mistake,
absolutely.
they are watching you. you know,
Absolutely.
they are reading your personal emails.
Yeah.
They are getting your cards and enjoying
Yeah.
them. you know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. And I think I know for myself, one of the things I do is I definitely do my own goal setting. And it's very personal. Goals are very personal when it comes to each person and what is what's important to you. And for me, my goal this year was to become the number one agent in
Nice.
my area. And I live in a very small town. There's under 10,000 people who live in my town.
Yeah.
And I wanted to dominate my
Yeah.
town. And I did that this year.
Yep.
And that was huge to, hey, work with the number one agent, and for, in a small town like this, a number one agent isn't 50 listings or
Right.
50 buyers,
Yeah. But it's
but to be able
consistent
to say I have
exposure.
sold more homes in this town than any other agent. And not only have I sold more homes, I've sold them for more money and faster than
Nice.
any other agent because
Nice.
I know this market.
Yes.
And to be able to show that to potential clients, it's actually bringing in more clients. And when people go into social media like Facebook and our Facebook groups for our local town, they're coming in and they're saying, I need a real estate agent. Who should I use? And they're saying, oh, go use Nicole. Nicole's the best. You need to use Nicole. So and these are people some of them I've never met. Some of them are only Facebook friends.
Right.
And they're raving fans.
Yep.
So that's, you can't ask for anything more than that,
You can't. You have such a pulse on the market,
Mhm.
that and you have such consistency there
Mhm.
that it just all falls together. It really does.
Yes.
And you can't, and it probably, I don't know if you can reminisce a little bit about maybe when you were first setting things up and
Mhm.
when you had only 50 people in your group,
Oh, yeah.
it feels overwhelming and it feels bleak. Oh, I'll never have 1,000 people in my group, but it
Mhm.
happens, doesn't it? It might
It
take
does.
2 or 3 years, but it's a seed that you planted,
Mhm.
and now it pays off every single month for you. Every
Oh,
single month it attracts a whole new audience
yeah.
in there. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. One of the things though, and I think it's something you and I have really talked about is my email.
Mhm.
My email is very different from yours.
It is. It is.
Very different. And I'm a data person.
Yeah.
I like the data. And
Yeah.
so what's interesting is what I found is the data is part for my clients or potential clients and people in my email,
Mhm.
but the other half is actually for me. Um, what I have found is I like putting the weekly stats
In there.
in my weekly email. I still do the heartfelt. I start off with my
Mhm.
personal message,
Yep.
which is amazing because by the time I get to the listing appointment, people are like, "Oh, how are your kids? Oh my gosh, I saw the picture of you guys when you went to last weekend. I went to a horse show, and so I
Yep.
showed this week's email was all about the horse show
Yep.
and how amazing it was, and they were like,
They
"Oh
just
my
know you,
gosh,
right? They just
yeah."
know you.
Yeah, they know me. They know what I'm up to. They are like
Uh-huh.
and I think what it does is it takes it from being all dry data to I have it split up into here's my heartfelt.
It's
This is
my
my
life.
personal message, and I
Yep.
try to keep it short and sweet because I get wordy.
Yep.
I get very wordy. Then it's hey, here's what's happened in our market this week.
Uh-huh.
Here are my thoughts on what happened in this market, and I do it in bullet points now, not
Good.
in paragraphs.
Good.
I
Yep.
want them to be able to scan it.
Give them links.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, and then after that, I give them some little market info, little bit of education, so
Nice.
I look smart. And then I talk about where rates are going and where what happened in the rates this week. And for me, that has been the secret sauce because not only can all these people who are in my email list see what I know,
Mhm.
but when I'm talking to people, I am rattling the market and the latest data off the top of my head so that
Nice.
when I'm at a listing appointment, I can say, here's what's happened. Here's what's going to happen. We just had one of the largest rate drops in in a 48-hour period,
Mhm.
the last 2 days.
Yep.
They said it's been decades. So since we've had rates drop this far, and we know it was artificially inflated because of instability, all
Yes.
the things. But I mean, they were saying you go back and look at 45 days, 6 weeks of market data, and we're looking back to the 1980s. We're looking at like 1980, 81 since the last time we've had this type of rate drop so
Well, somebody
quickly.
needed a good 24-hour news cycle, huh?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But
We're
to be
going into
able
an
to
election
share,
year, so
yes,
yeah.
because I'm digging into the data, I'm looking at how many people are mortgage
Yeah.
applications and financing. Even
Mhm.
though I'm not a mortgage person, I don't do lending, but to be able to say,
Oh, you
here's a
need that knowledge.
prediction of the market
Yeah.
because this data shows this.
Yes. Hmm.
So knowing that information for me and sharing that in that email has been huge for my business.
Well, I'm a firm believer that your avatar is going to be just like you.
Yeah.
So if you're a news junkie or you're a
Mhm,
data junkie, you're going to
mhm.
attract data junkies,
Yeah,
So
and
roll with
but, what the
it.
other thing what I found I'm attracting is people who just wanna know that I've got this. They don't wanna have to worry about it.
Yeah. Hmm.
They don't
Definitely.
"Hey, great, go take care of it. Go do it.
Yep.
Show me the nu sh explain to me why. Now, okay, you've got this, go do this." They
Yeah.
just wanna know that I know what I'm doing, and
Hmm.
that's been huge.
Hmm.
So,
Good.
and
Good.
yeah, I have not gone to a listing appointment that I have not gotten.
It's the come
I
list me appointment, isn't it?
Yes, and my business has shifted from being a buyer's agent
Right.
to a listing agent now,
Excellent.
which is
Excellent.
huge.
Yep, we talked about that a few years ago
Mhm.
too.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And we talked about
and
shifting our messaging,
yeah,
and everything that we offer is just geared towards sellers. Our marketing messages, we don't mix our marketing messages, come buy or sell with us,
yeah,
come sell with us.
yes.
Let me list with you. That's all we
Mhm.
talk about, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You
Eh
you know, you got to put out there what you want to attract.
Yes, absolutely. The other thing I did, and I know I've talked to some of our agents in the group, was that I did do the Authorify books, and you can see them behind me.
Mhm.
I still have a lot of them.
Yes. Hmm.
Um, I bring those to my listing appointments,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that I think has helped because
Hmm.
it says, "Here, I wrote a book." They don't need to know I had help writing the book, but here,
Right.
I wrote a book.
Right.
And
Yeah.
if you turn here, this will answer these type of questions. And if you
Very
want these
good.
type of
Mhm.
questions, you go here. And so you can say, "Hey, if you want a bit of light reading and want something to put you to sleep, if you can't get a hold of me,
Bathroom reading material.
it might be in the book." So I have found that does, whether they read it or not, I have no idea.
Right.
Probably not.
So we talked about, I saw a post in another group that asked about a pre-listing package. Is that something maybe that you deliver in a pre-listing package to
Mm-mm.
sellers, if that's
Nope.
what you do? No, I
Nope.
don't do pre-listing packages
I
either.
don't.
Yeah, I don't.
What I have found is that the more I do,
Mhm.
the less I get back from the client because I'm trying too hard.
Yeah.
I go based on relationship. I focus on the rapport. I focus on connection. I focus on building that trust that I'm the
Good.
person that they want working for them.
Hmm. Excellent.
I'm the one. Here's what I know, but ultimately, you're, especially on a listing appointment.
Yeah.
Here's what I know. You're in the driver's seat. It's your house. It's your
Sure.
money.
Yeah.
You get to make that decision. But let me help you. Let me show you what the market says, and then let's make that decision. And you tell
Excellent.
me how you want this to go.
Excellent. I think
So
that,
yeah,
I think that's a much better approach than, I feel like some agents are out there just trying to tell sellers what it is, and then
no.
they're concerned about, you know, listing too high or listing too,
Mhm.
it's their house. They need to test the
Oh,
market
absolutely.
sometimes.
And
They're
I
making
had
a huge
one.
decision, and
Yeah, I
they
had
walk
one this
away from
summer.
listings. you know.
Oh yeah,
So don't walk
absolutely.
away.
Yeah. I had one this summer and we came in, they were like, "Well, do you think we can I really want to get this. I
Mhm,
really want to try this." And I'm like, and we said, "Okay, let's look
mhm,
at the data." And I have all the data in front of them.
mhm.
And I'm like, it's gonna, and I'll be honest, it's gonna be tight.
Yeah,
Could we get that? Let's test. Let's test the market.
yeah,
And
yep.
if the market says no, then we pivot.
Mhm,
We can pivot.
mhm.
It's your house. You want to test the market? Let's test the market.
Excellent,
Okay. And
excellent.
we've done it. And guess what? It actually came back. They were right.
Yeah,
They
oh,
were
yeah.
right.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
offer came in even higher than our list price. And we
Yes,
had multiple offers. And I'm like, I am so glad I was wrong, you know,
exactly.
you know? Yeah. And I really play that. I'm human. I
Yeah,
do make mistakes. I know a lot of information, but I do not have all the answers.
yeah, I mean, nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody does, and, there's an ask for every seat, so,
Mhm.
you just put it out there. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many times I've stopped counting how many times I've been wrong
Mhm.
on market value,
Oh, yeah.
like, either
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
being too conservative or the market's just gone crazy.
Yeah.
But let's just put
Because
it out there.
demand is
I learned a
everything.
long time ago, let's just put it out there,
Mhm.
and see what happens. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good, good, good. So, are you enjoying your Christmas holiday so far?
Um, honestly, I have been too busy
I saw
to
you did
really do
post that you
anything.
didn't go have your tree up yet.
I don't. In fact, that's something this weekend, that we're gonna do. We're gonna finally get the tree up,
Well, you
and,
better. It's the 15th.
I know, I know. I'm usually a day after Thanksgiving girl. I would
Uh-huh.
have it up earlier, but my husband is like, "Not until Thanksgiving is over." But yeah, I've been busy, which
Yeah,
is
good.
it's a great feeling to have, especially in a market where so many agents are having
Yeah,
to supplement their income
yeah,
or leaving the industry.
yeah, yeah. It's disheartening to see that happening. Definitely. You
Mhm.
know. All right. Well,
Absolutely.
good. What else? Oh, and you know what? We didn't even mention. I mean, you mentioned briefly that sometimes you're down.
I
And
am.
sometimes you're not,
Mhm.
and nobody knows this about you probably, but you live large on
I
social
do.
media.
I'm very open with my
Yeah,
life.
with what happened. So I just want to say that Nicole is 1 year, a little over 1 year now, cancer free. So
Yes,
on
I
top
am.
of all of this, over the last several years, she's been up and down, and
Yeah.
I've watched her really come back strong every single time. And I think
Yeah.
it gets a little easier now because with your systems that you have set up, I mean, this is
Mhm.
what we set it up for, you know.
Yes.
This is why we set it up, is because sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but your business functions without you.
Yes.
You could not even skip a beat with
Mhm.
your business, and nobody would even know the difference. If
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah. And I implemented the emails. Oh gosh, I think I'm hitting week 50,
good. So almost a
week
year.
40, week
Yeah,
40, week 50, something like that.
excellent.
So yeah, so I didn't even implement my emails till this year. So
Mhm.
it was something I started doing on my downtime, and it's gone through a lot of variations until
Uh-huh.
I've got my current version. A
Uh-huh.
lot of feedback and a
Uh-huh.
lot of tweaks, but
Uh-huh. And that's something that you
yeah.
do in like 30 minutes or an hour a week takes you to
Um,
produce?
it depends on my distractions and
Yeah.
what I have coming at me, answering phone calls.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get calls while I'm trying to pull the data, and it takes me an hour and a half. If
Okay.
I don't have any distractions, I can probably do it in about 30 to 45 minutes,
Bang it out.
put it
Yep.
all together. Mhm,
And schedule it to go
mhm.
out. Excellent.
Yeah,
Yep. Wonderful. All
yeah.
right. you have
And if
anything else?
anybody actually wants to see them, you can actually go to my website and I have all my you can see all the versions of
Oh,
all the different,
that's a cool feature.
so where you can see all of my old, my old emails, and I
That's
call them my
cool.
newsletters. So, yeah, if anybody wants to see what I'm doing, you're welcome to just go in and click, and you don't have to sign up. So
Good.
just
That's
go in and
cool.
click. So, yeah.
That's cool. All right. Any other like cool tools you've come across right recently?
Mm.
Anything new that you're playing with?
Zapier.
Yeah.
I want to, because my website does not automate a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and the thing is I was missing leads coming in. I wanted a notification. I
Right.
wanted a text message, not an email that gets buried,
Right.
because especially when we're in transactions, we have so many emails coming in.
Hmm.
I wanted something that would text me to let me know that I had a new lead. I don't care what time.
Right.
I want something in my phone saying, "Hey, you've got a new lead, and
Right.
here's their name, their phone number, their email."
Yeah. And
So
your website does not do that.
my website does not. So I implemented
Right.
Zapier, and
Good.
now it does.
Good.
So,
Good.
yeah.
That's helpful, huh?
So, and I think the biggest thing I have found is when it comes to real estate, if there's a will, there's a way, especially when it comes to technology.
Hmm.
There's always a way to make your life a little bit easier.
Yes. Hmm.
So,
But I think I don't know, maybe I have to watch myself and bite my tongue sometimes that I'm just not getting old,
mhm.
you know, that I feel like some technology is just over the top unnecessary,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like, but I have had a much larger business than I do today. And I've definitely used technologies that I used when I was scaling that I don't today. So
Mhm.
I just feel like some things you just put a stake in the ground and you just never change. And, then layer up
Excuse me.
from there. Oh, God bless you.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, when we find, and I think that's the thing is like there's there is no 100% magic sauce
no, there
that
isn't.
works for everybody across the board.
Yeah. And you have
We
to have
all
the,
have our personalities, and what we
mhm,
find works for us
yes.
is different. And you say there's 101 ways to make money in real
Yep.
estate. There's 101 ways to find clients and build your list
Yep.
of raving fans. And it's really about finding what works for you, because if you're not comfortable doing it, if you're
Hmm.
not happy doing it, you're not going to stick with it.
No.
And
Mm-mm.
you need to, and consistency, no
Yeah.
matter what you do, consistency is key.
Yeah.
Consistency is, and being out in front of people,
Hmm.
that's where you're going to find your success.
Yeah. Exposing to a larger audience,
Mhm.
definitely. And shoot, I lost it. That happens.
Yeah.
I had
But
a
I do
thought.
have to say, Julie, you have been absolutely invaluable to
Oh,
me
thank
and my
you. I
business,
appreciate
and
that.
helping me tweak and find out what works for me.
Yep,
And yeah.
that's a lot of it. That's getting it nailed down, and then
Mhm.
nail it down, and then have something that you can have the bandwidth to build with. That's what I
Mhm.
like to say.
Yeah.
Don't try to get so far ahead of yourself, because you can't scale by yourself. And it's
No.
okay if you don't want to scale, and
Mhm.
it's okay if you only want to scale a little bit, but you
Mhm.
can't scale big by yourself, and that's the
No.
truth. But you have to go baby steps first when you're trying to scale, because otherwise you take on too much,
Yes.
too fast. You hire too many agents.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. Hired too many agents. Nobody gets trained, and nobody does nothing. And you look big on paper because you got so many agents, but in theory, you're the one doing all the work because you grew too fast.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
and didn't train along the way. So
Yes.
I made all those mistakes,
Well, and not only that, but because I do have a team.
Mhm.
I have built a team.
Good.
But just know one of the things I've had to learn to accept is not everybody is you. Not
Right.
everybody has the same drive you do, and not
Right.
everybody is willing to put in the same effort and figure out what works for them. You
Yeah.
can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, kind of thing.
Yes, that's the
Um,
truth.
yeah, yeah.
You
So,
have to train one step at a time and make sure that
exactly.
you're duplicating yourself. Whether you're
Yes,
working with your first, virtual assistant, or, you know, your assistant is hiring for you, you know,
yes,
um, and that's a fun place to be too.
yeah,
Just bring me in for the last interview. That's all I need to see.
yeah, absolutely,
I'm such an
absolutely.
introvert. I didn't hire well either. I hired my best friend to be my recruiter, and he did well. So for a lot of
Awesome.
years.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, yeah, this
Are you
is
still studying for your broker test?
I have not. I stopped studying when I ended up with the last round of cancer.
Yeah.
And then my focus was all on bringing my business back from the dead
Right.
again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, good. I think
But,
you'll make an
and then I've been
excellent
busy.
broker.
Yeah, I know, and I keep talking about it. I do know. In fact, I stare at the books. I'm like, "I've got to open these back up." So, but yeah, it's definitely on my radar. It's definitely not off the table. I would love I would love to be a broker of one,
Yeah.
agency of one, just one boutique broker, and just it's
Yeah.
kinda nice to call my own shots.
That's a fun place to be. It really is, you
Mhm.
know. And you feel like, oh, it's not much different, but it really is.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you don't have to answer to anybody. The
Yeah,
check
and
comes in, it
leaving
goes into your bank account. You don't have to share it with anybody.
yeah, when I left my traditional brokerage, it was very, very hard,
Yeah.
and now I'm with a flat rate
Yeah.
online brokerage, which I actually really like.
Yeah. Well, you function
I'm
independently,
I
you
do.
know.
I'm very independent, very
Yeah.
independent. Obviously got my own office at home where I've got access to everything I need, and if I don't have it, I'll go get it.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to invest into my business.
Right.
Um, and I think the one thing I get out of um, being at this brokerage is somebody else gets to approve the files where I'm not so focused on, oh, yeah, this is missing a buyer signature or something, or,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got somebody else overlooking the files to make sure.
Yeah.
And I do pay for that.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is I'm still very independent. I
Yeah.
don't have somebody looking over my shoulder all the time. And
Yeah. That's nice. That's
yeah.
nice. All right. Good. Okay. Anything else you want to share?
I think that's about it. I mean, I've been trying to keep it pretty simple, something that I know I can maintain, something I can
Yep.
um,
Keep it simple. That's
focus
my
on.
theory.
I do know that my social media, I focus on Facebook.
Mhm.
Facebook has always been. I dabble in Instagram and I dabble in TikTok, but
Yeah.
um, Facebook is my platform, and focusing on one social media platform is huge. This I my Facebook has just skyrocketed. I think I've had almost 700 new people follow me in the last 2 weeks.
Nice. Well, you
And
have
remember, I'm not running any ads.
right, but
So,
you do
yeah,
have huge digital assets. You
I
have
do.
what, 29,000 on your page
Yeah,
load?
I think it's pushing 30,000 now on
Nice. Nice.
my business page. And then I did monetize my business page.
Good.
I monetized it back in August, and I was like, we'll see if it reduces my reach. Well, we're gonna watch the numbers. It
No,
didn't, which
no.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Um, And we know that Facebook stopped paying for Reels,
Mhm.
but now they're paying because now they were realizing they were getting away. I think they realized they were getting away from their roots and engagement and just the normal posts. So I decided that, hey, if I can get Facebook to help offset my advertising costs on
Mhm.
Facebook, then it's a win. And
Yes.
so because of the reach I have received, I think I've got a check coming from Facebook. I've been averaging anywhere from $30 to $75 from Facebook,
Nice. Nice.
which, you know, okay, it's, it puts a little dent in my
Yeah,
advertising in my ad
yeah.
spend.
Get a little credit. That always helps.
Yeah, I checked last night and my check from Facebook for the month of December is $850.
Wow.
Mhm.
Really?
Yes. So
Nice.
I can do some damage with advertising with
Yeah, we can
$850.
spend that, huh?
Yeah. So, and I figured, if nothing else, I've also changed what I'm posting. I'm
Mhm,
still getting a lot of, things are settling back down after the viral posts.
mhm,
Um, but it's causing a lot more engagement on my page. So it'll be interesting as I follow this and I continue to change up some of what I'm posting
mhm,
and I know Meet Edgar is a smart system because
mhm,
I use Meet Edgar. Meet Edgar will also post things that are more because it has its own analytics.
mhm.
It will post more of what's engaging and
Yes,
start dropping off items that are not.
yes. Mhm,
So, as Meet Edgar is seeing this data come in, and I'm able to analyze what's going viral and what's engaging, I can post more of it.
yes. Mhm.
So I am constantly updating and adding to my Meet
Good,
Edgar to make sure.
good. Excellent.
The messages I'm getting through my Facebook page has been unreal. I Of course there's the scammers, but I'm also getting messages from agents across the country who are saying, "Oh my gosh, I love your I love your Facebook. I love what you're doing. I love let's connect." And
Yeah.
sure, great. And I pop them in my phone and so under the state that
Mhm.
they're in and if I ever have a referral,
No referral. Excellent.
we can connect. So,
Good, good,
yeah.
good. So many different things we can do.
So many things. So many things.
You just can't, you just have to systematically get through and check off boxes and get it all set up. Once
Mhm.
it's set up, though, it's pretty much on autopilot. That's for sure.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Good, good, good.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, this has been great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and sharing.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're
I'm
very welcome.
sure you got
So,
a busy day lined up ahead of you, huh?
yes. Yes, I've got lots going on today as I'm looking at the time. It's like, okay.
Yeah, you're about
Calls.
3 or 4 hours behind me, so I better let you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you. I
You
appreciate
are
it, Nicole.
welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.